Everton's financial troubles have been well documented over the previous few years, and some would even suggest that if they were to drop out of the Premier League, they will be in serious trouble. And this season they have started the Premier League abysmally. They are currently in the relegation zone and not playing great football. So I've taken it upon myself to see if I can get them back to the powerhouse club they once used to be by going all out attack. Just like you know I love to do here on Mr. Apples FM. So to start off, I haven't really been able to bring anyone in because Everton didn't have much money at the start of the game. But if you've seen my overpowered attacking tactics video, you've seen this formation right here. I'm going to be using this for the Everton rebuild. To start off with, I'm going to go very attacking. The worst I'm going to do is drop that down to attacking. I'm never going to go lower than that. And let's see if we can just score more goals than the opposition because they've got quite a decent strike force already. To start the season, we've had some pretty interesting results. A 2-0 win to start the season against Luton, 2-1 loss away to Newcastle, not too bad, they did score in the 90th minute, a 6-2 loss at home to Brighton, and then we progressed through in the Carabao Cup 2-1 against Sheffield United. So to start the season, we need to scroll down. We're in last place, but that's because we've got that 6-point deduction for financial mismanagement because I'm doing it from last season's database. Let's progress on to the end of the first season and see how well this tactic will do for a club like Everton. And if we go to the end of season number 1 with this very attacking tactic, let's have a look. And we have finished in 10th place, which I think is really good, considering where they finished last year, just above the relegation zone. And of course, we had those 6 points deducted from financial mismanagement, so add on those 6 points and we actually would have got into the Europa League. So that would have been an incredible season had we not had those deductions. If we check out the stats, we have Beto and Calvert-Lewin both getting plenty of goals. 42 between the two of them, with Beto getting in the average ratings and Nathan Patterson getting in the Player of the Match awards. We also have quite a few guys getting plenty of yellow cards in Amadou Onana, Mikalenko and Patterson. That's just a byproduct of very attacking football. Let's quickly check our goals tally, and we've got 89 goals for the season and conceded 83. The board wanted entertaining football, and I think we've delivered that to them in spades. Unfortunately, we had a terrible end to the season, and we probably could have been in European qualification, even with those points deductions. Brighton had a fantastic time against us. We saw them get a 6-2 win early in the season, and then they backed it up with a 5-1 win in Brighton. If we check out our goals tally for the season, we had 3 players getting in double figures. One of those won't be back next season. He was on loan, that is Arnaud Danjuma. And of course, we saw Calvert-Lewin and Beto getting plenty of goals. In terms of assists, McNeil, Patterson and Mikalenko had really good seasons for us. Danjuma got 9 as well, so 24 goal contributions from him. We need to find a way to replace all those goals. And we'll need to do it with £36.75 million and £85,000 in the wage budget. I think there's plenty of value in this squad. We've got a bit of deadwood here that we can move on for a bit of money and then improve the squad all over the park. Let's move on to season number 2. So before the changeover seasons, we sold Neil Maupay for £9.5 million and Michael Keane for just under £2 million, getting a little bit of extra money in. But then we had one major transfer out, and that was Beto going to a Saudi Arabian club. And as per usual, when these bids kind of come in, with a player like Beto, as soon as that bid came in and he knew he's going to get monster money, he just wanted to take it. So let's cash in while we can. I brought in Festi Abasele to give some competition to Nathan Patterson on the right back. He was happy to be a squad player, so that's really good news for us. And then I made sure I looked around the free transfer market because you can always get some good deals in the first season. We got in Fosu Mensah, Luka Jovic, Lucas Rodriguez, and Ryan Sessegnon, who will be the backup on the left-hand side. One of the players coming in, we've got Maxence Lacroix. I don't think he's kind of Champions League quality, but he's probably the next level down, so he'll do a job for us so far. Someone who'll do an even better job for us, I think, is Jonas Wind. This guy's a really good striker, and for just £29 million, I think he's going to do a really good job for us with those 3 players that we have up front. Alvaro Fidalgo was a fantastic pickup. He cost us only £5.25 million. He's already scored a goal. I think this guy is really good for the amount of money that you can pay for him. And lastly, I just brought in Renato Sanchez on loan, and he'll come in permanently at the end of the season. So I have brought the attacking level down 1 and just being attacking rather than very attacking. We're going to lock in Maxence Lacroix for the whole season because I don't want Tarkowski in there. I think obviously Tarkowski's coming towards the end of his career, whereas Lacroix is going to be there for a while longer. And this is what it does for the best 11. It actually has Lacroix in there, but I want to make sure that he's in there for most of the game, so I'm going to lock him in. That front line there looks fantastic with Onana in the midfield just in behind him. I wouldn't mind getting in James Garner into the defensive midfield. He didn't get a lot of game time last year, but unfortunately I think Onana's a better ball-winning midfielder, and that suits his kind of formation. To start the season, we had a 3-3 draw against Tottenham. We then went to Burnley and beat them 1-0. Good to see them still in the Premier League in this game. Wolves then beat us 2-1 at home. Lacroix actually scored in that game. But then we knocked them out of the Carabao Cup with a 91st minute goal. They did score in the 95th minute, but it wasn't enough, and we went through. We then exacted some revenge against Brighton and Hove Albion for their incredible season against us last year by beating them 4-0 in Brighton. So to start the season, we are in 7th place with 7 points. We've started pretty well. Basically got all the main teams ahead of us, plus Brentford, with Man United just behind us. Let's see what we can do for this season coming up. Just before we check out the results of the season, I just want to see if you can just go down a little bit lower and click on that subscribe button for me. That really helps me out. It is completely free, and I'm heading towards 500 subscribers for FM25. Hit that like button if you like what you see today, and leave a comment down below if there's any fun experiments you'd like to see on Mr. Apple's FM, or if there's any other clubs you'd like to see a rebuild, especially with some attacking football. But now, let's check out to see how we did for this season. Let's have a look and see how we did at the end of season number 2. And we're in 9th place, but we do have European football for this season, so that is a good sign. We're on 55 points, so we got a little bit less than last year, especially when you consider we got 6 points taken off last year. In terms of goals, we have scored 76 and conceded 74, so both of those are down. One is positive that's down, one a little bit negative that's down. But in the competitions, what else did we do? We reached both finals. We've won the Carabao Cup, but we've come runner-up in the FA Cup. So we've done really well to progress through in both domestic cups, and we beat Man City 2-1 in the final of the Carabao Cup. That is wonderful. If we have a look here, we had Lucas Rodriguez scoring in the 8th minute, Chermiti scoring in the 31st minute. So 2 guys who aren't actually full-time starters for us actually scored the goals in the first half, so that's really good. Erling Haaland scored just for half-time. We did miss a penalty too from Sessegnon. And then we had a man sent off in Chermiti, so he's had a very eventful day. But we held on for a 2-1 win. What a fantastic effort that one is. And funnily enough, we actually beat Man United in the semi-final. We beat them 4-0 overall with 2-0 wins. In the quarters, we beat Norwich City. And in the 4th round, we'd beaten Port Vale 5-1. So a really good run for us in the Carabao Cup. And that gets us into Europe for next season. That's where we want to be. In the FA Cup, we played Man City again, but they beat us 4-1 this time, so we couldn't get 2 wins over them in cup competitions, but as I said before, at least we are into Europe. We beat Leicester City on penalties in the semi-final, and in the quarters we beat Aston Villa 6-2. 5th round, we beat Derby County 2-1. We beat Bristol City 5-1 in the 4th round, and in the 3rd round we beat Brighton 6-2, so we have scored so many goals between the two of our teams. Checking out some of the results in the schedule, and again we had a bad end to the season, but we did have Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea in there to end the season along with Fulham. We did beat Bournemouth 6-3 towards the end of the season as well though, so that's a pretty good effort. And for the squad stats, we did go a little bit down with our goals in terms of the high end. No one got into the 20s for our team. We had Calvert-Lewin with 19, Fidalgo with 16, Wind with 16, and McNeil 12 and Rodriguez with 10. For our assists, we had Mikalenko, McNeil and Ebosele getting in double figures. So Ebosele's actually done really well considering he's not the starter. Patterson is usually the starter in the team, but Ebosele will come in when Patterson's either injured or he can also play a little bit further up the pitch too. So for next season, we have just over £50 million, but we have just under £250,000 in the wage budget. So we've got plenty of money to play with. And once again, a lot of value in this squad now. So we might be able to move some players out to bring in some better players in. And so that money did go out and we sent out Dwight McNeil and James Garner to Saudi Arabian clubs. Unfortunately, Garner just didn't quite fit into our tactic. I know he gets really good on this game if you play him a lot, but we just couldn't fit him in. Dwight McNeil wanted to leave as well, especially when he had that big money offer coming in, so more than happy to go. Didn't quite fit into the tactic. I think he's better out wide than he is centrally, so I'm happy to get £54 million for him. But we spent a lot of money. I did actually get Alan Abando, but of course the way the South American players move when they have to move at 18 years of age, he came in on the 1st of January last year. So I think this guy should be able to do a job for us in a couple of years' time, probably the 4th and 5th season. I then bought Jonas Erbig. So he is one of about 2 or 3 really good young goalkeepers. I really like this guy. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper, and you can just about start him straight away. As you can see, he's had a great time of it with Cologne, and now he's going to come in to be our first team goalkeeper, and we're going to see if we can move Pickford off in the near future. So this is a fantastic signing. Goncalo Ramos is coming in from PSG, who barely even played him in his 2 seasons at the club. He's already scored 2 goals and got an assist for us in 3 games. We paid £49 million for him, and he is going to be a star. And then lastly, paying only £17.5 million for Simone Pafundi. What a player this guy is, and he just gets even better into the future. 3 games already, 1 goal, 2 assists. If you get the opportunity to bring in Simone Pafundi, make sure you do it. A fantastic attacking midfielder. We then brought in Ladislav Krejci for a really small fee, essentially before his contract ran out. This guy will be our backup centre back because he is left-footed and we only have one of those in the squad. And then a real backup striker for us, Pietro Pellegrini. I doubt he'll get many games for us, but he's there in case we get a couple of injuries. The only thing we're going to do this season is lock in Jonas Erbig, so Jordan Pickford doesn't get the game time. We want Erbig to be our goalkeeper for the entire rebuild. If we have a look at what happens when we do the best 11 though, that front line there, Calvert-Lewin, Wind, Ramos, Pafundi, Fidalgo, that is fantastic already, and hopefully it's only going to get better. So we played the first ever game at Bramley Moore Dock Stadium, and we lost to Liverpool 3-1. That's not a great way to start the new stadium's life, but then we went to Arsenal and beat them 3-2, and then we hosted Wolverhampton and we beat them 5-2. In the Conference League qualifiers, we destroyed Larnakas from Greece 8-0, and then took them back to our place and beat them 3-1. So we have a look at those fixtures for the Conference League. We have Cluj, AGF, Servette, Maribor, Union Berlin, and Craiova. We should get 5 wins at least out of those ones, I would have thought. And in the league, we are currently sitting in 8th place with 2 wins from our 3 games, but with a positive goal difference. So this is going to be another great season. I think we should be one of the front runners in the Conference League. Let's see if we can get another trophy. So end of season number 3 with all of those attacking players coming in. How did we do? We finished in 4th place in the league and we have got Champions League football for next season. What a fantastic effort this is. So 23 wins, 3 draws and 12 losses, a plus 22 goal difference. Man City have had a ridiculous season with 81 plus goal difference on 100 points. So Calvert-Lewin had 19 goals for us for this season and also finished in the top 4 for man of the matches, but nowhere near Erling Haaland on either. He's had 44 goals with 14 man of the match awards. That's insane. He can barely even compete with that. Amadou Onana in the yellow cards once again with 14. Checking out our goals for the season, and we have scored 90. So only Man City have scored more than us for the season, and we've conceded 68. So we're getting better in defense, although when you look at the top 3 above us, all of them have conceded less than 30 goals. Let's check out the other competitions. Could we win the Conference League, or could we win another domestic cup? We've won the Conference League, as probably expected. We beat Napoli in the final, so to be honest, that's actually a really good final for us. So a great win there. They still have Victor Osimhen in this one, because obviously I haven't done the transfer pack just yet. So Simone Pafundi, he scored in the 90th minute after Fagioli scored in the 86th minute for Napoli equalising for them. What a great effort that is. 2 goals for Pafundi and a goal for Jonas Wind. If we check out our run in the Conference League, and we beat Trabzonspor 7-2 overall. We beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 4-2 overall, a 2-0 win and a 2-2 draw there. In the league phase, we topped the league with 5 wins and 1 loss. So our 5 wins were against Craiova, Union Berlin, Maribor, AGF and Cluj, scoring plenty of goals in the process. In fact, no one came anywhere near us for goals. The next best was 15 by Haken from Sweden. And we did have one loss, a 3-2 loss away from home to Civetta. Hey, it is what it is. We have won the Conference League, so we would have gone straight into the Europa League for next season, but because we finished 4th, we're in the Champions League. So we had a quarterfinal loss to Arsenal, 2-1 in the FA Cup, and a quarterfinal loss to Aston Villa, 3-2 at home. So we probably could have done better, especially when there is Ipswich Town hanging about in the semi-finals. Our goals for this season were much improved. Obviously, we had more games, especially since we were in Europe, but still plenty of goals. So Calvert-Lewin with 34, Jonas Wind with 30, Ramos with 21, fantastic pickup that one. Fidalgo 19, another great pickup. Jovic with 19, Pafundi with 14. And have a look at this, 25 assists from Simone Pafundi, 39 goal contributions overall. Calvert-Lewin had 51 overall. That's incredible. So Patterson, Mikalenko, Calvert-Lewin, Ramos and Fidalgo all getting double figure assists. That is a fantastic attacking season. And for next season, we have £56 million with £86,000 in the wage budget per week. So slightly less than last year when you consider the wage budget. But again, let's see if we can move some people out, get rid of a bit of the deadwood, and then bring in some better players. Okay, and we've moved out a lot of money this season. So to start off with, Chamiti went to Southampton for £24 million. Pickford went out to West Ham for £4.9 million. But the main thing there is we got his wages off the wage bill. £35 million for Ryan Sessegnon, considering he was our backup left back. That's a fantastic effort. Pellegrini wasn't really getting much game time, so £4.5 million for someone we brought in on free. And Fosu Mensah went out for up to £4 million. Once again, we got him in on a free, so we have just made a profit on him. We then sent Tarkowski out on free, once again getting those high wages off the budget. Jovic then went out to Al Hilal for £49 million, and he came in on a free as well. So that is a massive profit for us. We then sent a youngster out, Stan Mills, to Crystal Palace, and finally, unfortunately, we couldn't do much about this. Goncalo Ramos went to Real Madrid for up to £103 million. He just wanted to go once that bid came in. I wasn't going to let him, and I had a perfect replacement for him ready to go. You'll see that very, very shortly. So 2 players came in before the change of seasons. The first one here is Adam Karabach. He should be a backup in the attacking midfield line for us. He's already got a goal in 1 game for us in the league. When he starts, he actually can be a really, really good player. There's some 16s, some 17s there, so great pace and acceleration is what you need with someone up front. And speaking of pace, Nathaniel Brown is coming in mainly as a backup in the left back position at the moment to Mikalenko. He's come in for £8.5 million from Eintracht Frankfurt, and he's already got assists for us in 3 games. 2 of those were off the bench. But then we brought in Joshua Zirkzee for free from Bologna. Of course, hasn't gone to Man United in this game. So he scored 4 goals in 4 games for us already. What a fantastic pickup this is for someone on free transfer. And then I think we have completely transformed our centre-back pairing with 2 fantastic younger players, one a left footer, one a right footer. First off, Jean-Claire Todibo, the right footer, who's come in from Nice, and we paid £45 million for him, which I think is actually a bit of a bargain, to be honest. And he's going to be partnered by Arthur Tiate, who is the left footer in this pairing. So he's coming in from Rennes for £80 million. That's a lot of money. It is important to solidify the back line. We have greatly improved our centre-back pairing. And lastly, I talked about it, we had a Goncalo Ramos replacement perfectly lined up for us. And the best thing was he was coming in regardless of whether Ramos was going out or not. Junior Kroupi has come in on deadline day. This guy is a really good young player. He's still only 20 years of age and looks like he could be in the prime of his footballing years. As I said, he hasn't played a game for us yet, and that is because he's only just come in. He did start the season pretty well for Lorient. We bought him for £43 million. So when you consider how much money we got for Ramos, this is a great way to replace a star player. So checking out that starting 11 right now, and Zirkzee and Kroupi go into the attacking lines. And as I said, Thiasse and Todibo become our new centre-back pairing, which would just about be one of the best centre-back pairings in the league at this stage. Checking out the schedule, and we have started the season with a 5-1 win against Liverpool at home. That is how we should have started the career of Bramley Moordock Stadium and not the 3-1 loss like it was last year. We then went to Chelsea and lost 3-2. Our second goal was in the 91st minute, so it was just a consolation, but still keeping it close to one of the bigger teams. We then hosted Brentford and beat them 5-2, and then went away to Ipswich and beat them 4-3. Good start to the season. Let's see where that puts us. We are in third place currently, with Southampton and Man City ahead of us. Looks like Man City have got another really good team this year, so they will be the team to beat. Let's have a look at our fixtures for the Champions League. We've got Besiktas, Salzburg, PSG, Borussia Dortmund, Lille, Ajax, Man City for some reason, and then Sporting to round out the season in the Champions League. Let's see how we get on for season number 4. Let's go on to the end of season number 4. We have won the Premier League in season number 4 with Everton with this ridiculously attacking tactic. Calvert-Lewin with 22 goals, and he is up there in the average rating as well. Pafundi with 13 assists, and of course Onana getting himself in the most yellow cards with 12. So the total points tally is way lower than last season, so we've had a little bit of luck there. We've got in when it has been right for us, but a 1-0 win to end the season against Man United. Junior Kroupi being the hero for the Everton side as he has scored against Man United to win the game for us. Lovely little header at the back post to beat Onana, and a 1-0 win takes us to the Premier League title. We have topped the league for goals scored this season with 97 goals, and again, our defence is getting better. We're down to 58 goals conceded. Could we do anything else in the domestic cups or the Champions League? Not quite. We have come runner-up in the FA Cup, a semi-final loss in the Champions League to Man City. Let's check out the FA Cup first. A 2-1 loss to Arsenal. So Kroupi again scored in that, so he seems like he's the kind of player who scores in big games. But Thuram and Havertz scored for Arsenal for them to win 2-1. And let's check out this run in the Champions League. So a 6-5 loss when we drew 1-1 in the second leg. So what's that? A 5-4 loss in the first leg. In the quarterfinals, we have beaten Tottenham 4-2. So again, having to play another English side. In the round of 16, we have beaten Roma 10-5. We beat them 9-1. So that means the first leg was 4-1. It is all but over after the first leg. And we have scored 9 goals. So Onana, Kroupi, Xerxes, Karabatic, Patterson with a double, Branthwaite, Todibo, and Fidalgo scoring in the 91st minute just to cap it off. That is insane. What a fantastic day that would have been for the Everton faithful. And we didn't have to go through the knockout playoff round because we finished in 5th place in the Champions League. So 5 games won, plenty of goals scored once again. Beat Sporting 3-0, Ajax 5-1, Lille 4-2, PSG 3-1, and Besiktas 4-0. We drew 1 game with Salzburg 1-1, and we lost 2 games to that game against Man City that we talked about before, and we lost away to Borussia Dortmund. So 2 games that we probably would have expected to lose anyway, but some fantastic wins, including against PSG. Let's check out our goals for this season. Calvert-Lewin with 34, Kroupi with 22, Xerxes with 20, Jonas Wind with 20, Pafundi with 13, Fidalgo with 12, Karabatic with 10. So many players in double figures, and yet we still had a player over 30 goals. What a fantastic effort that is. In terms of assists, Pafundi again over 20 assists, Kroupi with 16, double figures to Patterson, Karabatic, Eberseli, even though he only started 4 games, and Calvert-Lewin as well. For our final season of the rebuild, just under £60 million, plenty of money in the wage budget. Again, plenty of value in this squad if we need to move players out to get some more money in. Let's see if we can do that for season number 5. So some of the transfers out before the changeover of seasons. Renato Sanchez went out to Al Dahal, which I think is in Qatar and not Saudi Arabia. Lucas Rodriguez went out to Blackburn Rovers for £7.5 million. And then we sold Eberseli to Saudi Arabian club for £32 million. Krejci went out for £14 million. He barely even played for us, so get that amount of money is really good. For players coming in, we have completely transformed the entire backline now. we have a new right back coming in with Vanderson being brought in from Monaco for £83 million. He's played all 4 games for us so far. 3 of those have been off the bench, but I expect him to be our main starting right back for the season. And then Quilandishi Hartman has come in, another guy with a lot of pace. We bought him from Feyenoord for £57 million. So that entire backline and the goalkeeper has been transformed. I think we have made massive improvements to every single one of those positions. And then the last player is a backup centre-back in Alessandro Marcandali. He's come in for £25 million. He's played 1 game for us off the bench so far. I don't expect him to get too much game time. He should be there if any of our better centre-backs get an injury. Here's our best 11 as it is. It puts Pafundi up top and Kroupi into the attacking midfield. I probably prefer that to be the other way around. As you can see, our defensive line has been completely transformed. I tried to see if I could improve on a defensive midfielder. There just weren't any out there that were willing to come to the club, so Anana is going to stay in there. There are plenty of better options. They just wouldn't come to Everton at this point in time for the amount of money we had. Let's check out that schedule. And we started the season with a 0-0 draw against Tottenham. We then went to West Ham and beat them 1-0 away. An 87th minute goal from Karabec, and it looks like Jonas Erbig had a really good game in that one. We then hosted Nottingham Forest and beat them with a Joshua Zirkzee goal, 1-0. We travelled to Wolves and beat them 3-2 thanks to Kroupi, Calvert-Lewin and Patterson. And we knocked Blackburn Rovers out of the cup 5-3 with Calvert-Lewin and Pafundi getting doubles. So that means we are sitting in 4th place for this season with Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool all on the same amount of points for us. We've only got a +3 goal difference where Liverpool are already a +14 goal difference, so that's a really good start from them. And lastly, if we check our Champions League fixtures, we have Rennes, Freiburg, Ajax, Leipzig, Roma, Copenhagen, Atletico Madrid and Benfica. I would expect we'd just about win most of those games. That's a really good draw for us, and if we're not getting probably at least 6 wins, we might be a little bit disappointed. Last season, can we get another trophy for Everton? Can we back up our Premier League win from last year? Let's go on to it. Here we go. Everton in the 5th season. So here we go. 5 seasons down with Everton. We have just about improved every single position on the park. What have we done? We've finished in 2nd place in the league. We've got a better points tally than last season. We've got 4 more points than last year, but 2 points behind Arsenal, who travelled to Brentford and beat them on the final day 1-0, whereas we destroyed Bournemouth 5-1. Even a draw for them wouldn't have been enough. We needed Brentford to beat them because they had a better goal difference than us. But if we check out the amount of goals we scored, conceded with the same amount of conceded as last year, but goals scored 112 for the season. What an amazing effort that is for a club like Everton, being 16 goals ahead of the next best. I told you this attacking tactic works. You do need to make sure you have plenty of options up front, and as you start to improve that back line and you don't concede as many goals, this is when it really comes into its own. But what have we done in the other competitions? We've won the Champions League. We have beaten PSG 4-3 in the final. Let's check it out. It is a hat-trick to Dominic Calvert-Lewin and a goal to Adam Karabec, which ended up being the winner for us. A 4-3 win in the final. So let's have a look and see how these went down. Okay, so the first one was a penalty, a lovely finish from Calvert-Lewin for the penalty. We have Tiate getting the ball down the left wing. Here's Nathaniel Brown, I should say. Lovely cross to Calvert-Lewin at that back post with that header. Fantastic goal. Ugarte has the ball into Xavi Simons, then to Mbappe, and he slots a pass. João Virginia in goal, so Jonas Erbig must have been injured. And then they went on to equalise here with Mendes has the ball into Mbappe, and he scores past Virginia. So imagine what would have happened if Erbig is in goal, because I don't think he would have missed that one. Colomawani has the ball. Oh, that's a lovely tackle, but Xavi Simons picks it up and slots it home. So Severino has the ball. He is a youngster that's come through my academy. Tiate with a lovely cross for Calvert-Lewin's hat-trick. Then Vanderson with a cross from a free kick. Header back up, and then Karabec rises higher than everyone else and wins the Champions League for Everton 4-3 4-3 overall. What a fantastic performance. Let's see our journey to the final. So in the semi-final is a 5-2 win against Bayern Munich in the semi. In the quarterfinal, we've beaten Real Madrid 6-5 overall. So we're beating some big teams to get this. We beat Borussia Dortmund, another big team, 3-2 overall. So that would have been a 2-0 win in the first leg. And we actually had to go through the knockout playoff round. So wasn't quite as high scoring as last year against Roma, but we beat them 4-3 to go through. So in the league phase, we actually finished in 10th place with 5 wins. So we beat Benfica, Atletico, Copenhagen, Leipzig 7-2, that's a great result, and a 2-1 win away to Ajax. Our losses came 4-3 to Roma, 3-0 to Freiburg and Rennes at home, so they're really bad losses. We probably should have done much better than that and been in the top 8. If we check out the schedule here, there's just goals all over the place. That final month of the season, 3-1 against Bayern, 5-2 against Man City, 5-1 against Bournemouth, and then 4-3 against PSG. Fantastic. We beat Newcastle 6-0 at one stage as well. And those all-important squad stats. Calvert-Lewin, another wonderful season. 38 goals. Definitely someone I'm going to be looking at more often. Jonas Wind with 23, Xerxes 19, Pafundi 16, Kroupi 14, Karabec 11, including that Champions League winner. And in the assists, Pafundi with 17, Vanderson 16, Brown 14, Patterson 13, Calvert-Lewin 11, Wind 11, and Fidalgo with 10. There are just goals and assists all over the place. So overall, Calvert-Lewin had 49 goal contributions in his 57 appearances. If you like what you see today, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any more fun content from Mr. Apple's FM. And of course, hit the like button and leave a comment down below if there's any other team you'd like to see a rebuild for, especially one who needs a bit of attacking football. On the screen now will be how I took Croydon Football Club to the Champions League trophy. And of course, the most important thing is for you guys to make sure you have yourselves a wonderful day.